Good afternoon. This is All India Radio. I am Valsa Williams and with me is Anuja Kumar with the Midday News. The headlines. Prime Minister Narendra Modi says India is ready to save humanity with 2 made-in-India COVID-19 vaccines. 16th Pravasi Bharatiya Divas Convention inaugurated by the Prime Minister urges youth to use technology to take forward India's pride and culture across the globe. At least 10 infants die in a fire tragedy at Bhandara District Hospital in Maharashtra. COVID-19 recovery rate reaches 96.41%. High-level committee set up by Centre to commemorate the 125th birth anniversary of Netaji Subhash Chandra Bose. And in cricket, Australia leads by 197 runs against India with 8 wickets in hand in the Sydney Test. As the nation fights the COVID-19 pandemic, we begin with a message of precaution to stay safe and protected by following these 3 simple steps. Wear a face mask, maintain 2 gaz ki duri for social distancing, focus on hand and face hygiene. And now the news in detail. Prime Minister Narendra Modi has said today India is ready to protect humanity with 2 made-in-India COVID-19 vaccines. The products and solutions made in India will benefit the entire world.
उन देशों में भारत एक है. आज भारत एक नहीं बल्कि 2 मेड इन इंडिया कोरोना वैक्सीन के साथ मानवता की सुरक्षा के लिए तैयार है. दुनिया की फार्मेसी होने के नाते दुनिया के हर जरूरतमंद तक जरूरी दवाएं पहुंचाने का काम भारत ने पहले भी किया है और आज भी कर रहा है. दुनिया आज सिर्फ भारत की वैक्सीन का इंतजार ही नहीं कर रही बल्कि दुनिया का सबसे बड़ा वैक्सीनेशन प्रोग्राम भारत कैसे चलाता है इस पर भी नजरें हैं.
Addressing the 16th Pravasi Bharatiya Divas Convention through virtual mode today, Mr. Modi urged the youth to use technology to take forward India's pride and culture across the globe.
देश विदेश में बसे मेरे सभी भारतीय भाइयों और बहनों बहुत बहुत शुभकामनाएं. आज दुनिया के कोने कोने से हमें भले ही इंटरनेट से जोड़ा है लेकिन हम सभी का मन हमेशा से मां भारती से जुड़ा है, एक दूसरे के प्रति अपनत्व से जुड़ा है. दुनिया भर में मां भारती का गौरव बढ़ाने वाले आप सभी साथियों को हर साल प्रवासी भारतीय सम्मान देने की परंपरा है. भारत रत्न स्वर्गीय अटल बिहारी वाजपेयी जी के मार्गदर्शन में जो यात्रा शुरू हुई उसमें अभी तक 60 अलग अलग देशों में रहे करीब 240 महानुभावों को ये सम्मान दिया जा चुका है.
He said, today the internet has connected people from various corners of the world, but our hearts are connected with our mutual love for the country. He said in the past years, non-resident Indians have strengthened their identity by showing their commitment for the betterment of society.
आज पूरी दुनिया को अगर भारत पर इतना ज्यादा ट्रस्ट है तो इसमें आप सब प्रवासी भारतीयों का भी बहुत बड़ा योगदान है. आप जहां भी गए भारत को भारतीयता को साथ लेकर के गए. आप भारतीयता को जीते रहे. आप भारतीयता से लोगों को जगाते भी रहे. और आप देखिए फूड हो या फैशन हो, फैमिली वैल्यूज हो या बिजनेस वैल्यूज, आपने भारतीयता का प्रसार किया है.
The Prime Minister said NRIs have made a big contribution in the fight against COVID-19 from where they were staying or from India. He said their contribution to PM Cares is strengthening health services in the country.
और दुनिया के हर नेता काफी समय आप ही के गुणगान करता था और ये बात जब मैं हमारे साथियों से बांटता था हर किसी का मन खुशियों से भर जाता था, गौरव होता था. आपके ये संस्कार दुनिया के हर कोने में उजागर हो रहे हैं. कौन भारतीय होगा जिसको अच्छा न लगता होगा. आप सभी ने जहां आप रह रहे हैं वहां ही नहीं बल्कि भारत में भारत की कोविड से चल रही लड़ाई में भी हर प्रकार से सहयोग किया है. पीएम केयर्स में आपने जो योगदान दिया वो भारत में हेल्थ इंफ्रा उसको सशक्त करने में काम आ रहा है. इसके लिए मैं आप सभी का आभार व्यक्त करता हूं।
The Prime Minister said today India is using technology to defeat corruption and lakhs and crores of rupees are being directly transferred to beneficiaries' bank accounts.
साथियों, भारत आज करप्शन को खत्म करने के लिए टेक्नोलॉजी का ज्यादा से ज्यादा इस्तेमाल कर रहा है। लाखों करोड़ों रुपए जो पहले तमाम कमियों की वजह से गलत हाथों में पहुंच जाते थे, वो आज सीधे लाभार्थी के बैंक खाते में पहुंच रहे हैं। आपने देखा होगा, भारत ने जो नई व्यवस्थाएं विकसित की हैं, उनकी कोरोना के इस समय में वैश्विक संस्थाओं ने भी भूरी भूरी प्रशंसा की है। आधुनिक टेक्नोलॉजी से गरीब को एम्पावर करने का जो अभियान आज भारत में चल रहा है, उसकी चर्चा विश्व के हर कोने में है।
He said today India's space program and tax startup ecosystem is a leader in the global sphere.
आज की सच्चाई यही है कि भारत एकजुट भी है और दुनिया में डेमोक्रेसी अगर सबसे मजबूत है, वाइब्रेंट है, जीवंत है, तो वो भारत ही है। भाइयों और बहनों, आजादी के बाद ही दशकों तक ये नैरेटिव भी चला कि भारत गरीब, अशिक्षित है, इसलिए साइंस और टेक्नोलॉजी में इन्वेस्टमेंट की संभावनाएं कम आंकी गई। आज भारत का स्पेस प्रोग्राम, हमारा टेक स्टार्टअप इकोसिस्टम दुनिया में अग्रणी है। कोविड की चुनौती के साल में भी कई नए यूनिकॉर्न्स और सैकड़ों नए टेक स्टार्टअप्स भारत से ही निकल करके आए हैं।
The Prime Minister said today when the country is working towards building Atmanirbhar Bharat, NRIs will play an essential role in strengthening brand India.
इस वैश्विक महामारी के दौरान भारत ने जो सीखा है, वही अब आत्मनिर्भर भारत अभियान की प्रेरणा बन गया है। हमारे यहाँ कहा गया है, शत हस्त समाह सहस्त्र समकिर, यानी सैकड़ों हाथों से अर्जन करो, लेकिन हजारों हाथों से बांटो। भारत की आत्मनिर्भरता के पीछे का भाव भी यही है। करोड़ों भारतीयों के परिश्रम से जो प्रोडक्ट्स भारत में बनेंगे, जो सॉल्यूशंस भारत में तैयार होंगे, उससे पूरी दुनिया का लाभ होगा। दुनिया इस बात को कभी नहीं भूल सकती है कि जब Y2K समय भारत की भूमिका क्या रही, भारत ने किस प्रकार से दुनिया को चिंता मुक्त किया था, इस मुश्किल में भी हमारी फार्मा इंडस्ट्री का रोल ये दिखाता है कि भारत जिस भी क्षेत्र में समर्थ होता है, उसका लाभ पूरी दुनिया तक पहुंचता है।
Mr. Modi said the new systems developed in India have been praised by global institutions. He said India's campaign to strengthen the poorest of the poor by modern technology is being discussed in every nook and corner of the world. He said during this COVID pandemic, India is among the countries with the lowest mortalities and highest recovery rates in the world. He said the country's pharma industry has shown that India's ability in any sector benefits the entire world. The Prime Minister said India has done structural reforms from education to enterprise to bring wholesome changes.
बीते महीनों में भारत ने एजुकेशन से लेकर एंटरप्राइज तक सार्थक बदलाव के लिए स्ट्रक्चरल रिफॉर्म्स किए हैं। इसमें आपके इन्वेस्टमेंट के लिए अपॉर्चुनिटीज का विस्तार हुआ है। मैन्युफैक्चरिंग को प्रमोट करने के लिए प्रोडक्शन लिंक सब्सिडी स्कीम ये बहुत पॉपुलर हुई है और बहुत कम समय में बहुत पॉपुलर हुई है। आप भी इसका भरपूर लाभ उठा सकते हैं। साथियों, भारत सरकार हर समय हर पल आपके साथ आपके लिए खड़ी है।
All India Radio Delhi will broadcast live the valedictory address of Pravasi Bharatiya Divas by Honorable President of India Ram Nath Kovind from 5 p.m. onwards on its FM Gold and Indraprasth channels.
The chief guest of the Pravasi Bharatiya Divas convention, President of Suriname, Chandrika Prasad Santokhi, said Suriname shares a deep bond with India and both the countries have managed to maintain their heritage, culture and customs.
Pravasi Bharatiya Divas, it is also important to recognize and celebrate that the Suriname Hindustanis have managed to maintain their heritage, their culture and customs. As we say here, their paramparas, Sanskriti and Bhasha. We have a vibrant Hindu and Muslim community. Today, we still speak Bhojpuri, Suriname style, Suriname Hindustani, and we believe we have the best traditional Indian cuisine in the Caribbean. We still teach our youngsters traditional folk dances and folk music like the Baitak Gana. We celebrate Holi Phagwa and we observe important holidays like Diwali, which is a national holiday in Suriname.
Talking to AIR, Dr. M.K. Gautam from Holland said,
हॉलैंड में कोई 1.5 लाख 2 लाख हिंदुस्तानी हैं। वो अपनी भाषा को सूरीनामी हिंदुस्तानी कहते हैं, जिसमें हिंदी और उर्दू दोनों होते हैं और साथ में भाषा, साहित्य, संस्कृति और उनकी पहचान वो सभी होती है।
Vice President M. Venkaiah Naidu today sent his greetings on the occasion of Pravasi Bharatiya Divas. In a tweet, Mr. Naidu said, "Our NRIs carry the fragrance of this ancient land to faraway places and with their hard work enhance India's reputation overseas."
External Affairs Minister Dr. S. Jaishankar has said that COVID has taught the country many lessons, prominent among them the need to be more self-reliant. He said its uncertainty has created a global demand for shorter, more trusted and resilient supply chains. Addressing the inaugural session of the 16th Pravasi Bharatiya Divas Convention through virtual mode today, Dr. Jaishankar said we in India have responded through the policy of Atmanirbhar Bharat, building strong capacities at home to make a larger contribution abroad. Prime Minister Narendra Modi interacted with India's leading economists on charting the economic agenda in the post-COVID world. The interaction was organized by the Niti Aayog yesterday. All the attendants agreed that high-frequency indicators are showing signs of a strong economic recovery, and that too earlier than expected.
Prime Minister Narendra Modi will share his thoughts with the people in the country and abroad in the Mann Ki Baat program on All India Radio on the 31st of this month. It will be the 73rd episode of the monthly radio program. Union Minister for Ocean Technology Dr. Harshvardhan dedicated Sagar Anveshika, a coastal research vessel, to the nation at the Chennai Port Trust today. A detailed report from our Chennai correspondent.
India's new coastal research vessel Sagar Anveshika was built by Titagar Wagons, fulfilling the commitment of the government's vision of Make in India. It is fitted with state-of-the-art equipment to carry out environmental indexing and bathymetric surveys in both coastal and offshore waters. This is one of the coastal research vehicles built for the National Institute of Ocean Technology. It also provides assistance in seamless integration of research equipment, including the laboratories and deck machinery. India is planning for a deep research with the top educational and research institutions like IIT, NIT and ISRO to tap the hidden marine resources, both living and non-living. Joy, AIR News, Chennai.
Former Gujarat Chief Minister Madhav Singh Solanki passed away this morning at his Gandhinagar residence. He was 94. A veteran Congress leader and the former External Affairs Minister, Mr. Solanki, had served 4 terms as the Chief Minister of Gujarat. He is the father of Gujarat Congress leader and former Union Minister Bharat Singh Solanki. AIR Ahmedabad correspondent reports that Gujarat government has declared one-day mourning in honour of the departed leader. President Ramnath Kovind and Prime Minister have expressed grief on the demise of Madhav Singh Solanki. In a tweet, Mr. Kovind said, "In the demise of Madhav Singh Solanki, the nation has lost an unmatched leader." Mr. Modi has said, Madhav Singh Solanki ji was a formidable leader, playing a key role in Gujarat politics for decades. He will be remembered for his rich service to the society. Mr. Modi spoke to his son, Bharat Solanki, and expressed condolences.
The General Council of the ruling AIADMK in its meeting today passed a resolution empowering the coordinator of the party and Deputy Chief Minister O. Pannirselvam and the Joint Coordinator and Chief Minister of Tamil Nadu, Edappadi Palanisamy, to decide on the alliance and allocation of seats in the State Assembly election.
You are listening to the Midday News on All India Radio. A reminder of the headlines before we move on. Prime Minister Narendra Modi says India is ready to save humanity with 2 Made in India COVID-19 vaccines. 16th Pravasi Bharatiya Divas Convention inaugurated by the Prime Minister urges youth to use technology to take forward India's pride and culture across the globe. At least 10 infants die in a fire tragedy at Bhandara District Hospital in Maharashtra. COVID-19 recovery rate reaches 96.41%. High-level committee set up by Centre to commemorate the 125th birth anniversary of Netaji Subhash Chandra Bose. And in cricket, Australia leads by 197 runs against India with 8 wickets in hand in the Sydney Test. For quick news updates round the clock, follow us on our Twitter handle at AIR News Alerts.
चलो मिलकर एक शुरुआत करें, चलो एक फैसला आज करें, मास्क नहीं तो टोकेंगे, कोरोना को रोकेंगे, चलो एक इरादा करते हैं, चलो खुद से वादा करते हैं, मास्क नहीं तो टोकेंगे, कोरोना को रोकेंगे.
Welcome back to the Midday News. The cumulative COVID-19 testing in the country has crossed the 18 crore mark today, and the country's COVID-19 recovery rate has reached 96.41%. During the last 24 hours, more than 9,16,000 samples were tested and more than 19,000 patients have recovered. The Health Ministry said during the last 24 hours, the total number of recoveries has gone up to over 1,56,000. The actual caseload currently comprises only 2.15% of the total positive cases. Presently, the total number of active cases in the country is around 2,24,000. During the past 24 hours, 18,222 new cases were reported, taking the total number of positive cases in the country to over 1,04,00,000. The ministry said currently India's case fatality rate is 1.45%, which is one of the lowest globally. During the last 24 hours, 228 deaths were reported, taking the toll to 1,50,798. India's civil aviation regulator, the Directorate General of Civil Aviation DGCA, has issued guidelines to airlines and other aircraft operators for transportation of COVID-19 vaccines. DGCA in a circular said all scheduled operators who have been currently authorized to carry dangerous goods may carry COVID-19 vaccine packed in dry ice, meeting the regulatory requirements. Non-scheduled operators, including aircraft engaged in general aviation that are required to participate in the carriage of COVID-19 vaccines packed in dry ice, shall seek specific approval before commencing such operations.
In Maharashtra, 10 infants died in a fire accident reportedly caused by an electric short circuit in the special newborn care unit at Bhandara Civil Hospital. The accident took place around midnight when a nurse noticed smoke coming from the room. The fire department was called and the hospital was evacuated. The district surgeon, Dr. Khandate, informed that there were 17 babies in the newborn ward. 7 infants were rescued. Maharashtra Chief Minister Uddhav Thackeray, who spoke to the district collector and the superintendent of police, has directed them to conduct a thorough investigation on the matter. A report from a Mumbai correspondent.
The shocking fire incident at the sick newborn care unit of Bhandara Civil Hospital, claiming lives of 10 newborn babies, has shaken the conscience of the nation. 7 other infants who were admitted in the unit were however rescued. President, Vice President and Prime Minister have expressed sadness on the loss of infant lives in the hospital fire accident in Bhandara. In a tweet, President Ramnath Kovind said he is deeply saddened by the untimely death of infants in a fire accident in Maharashtra. He expressed condolences to the families who lost their children. Vice President M. Venkaiah Naidu said he is distressed to learn about the loss of lives of infants and expressed condolences to the bereaved family members. Prime Minister Narendra Modi called it a heart-wrenching tragedy where we have lost precious young lives. The Prime Minister said his thoughts are with all the bereaved families. He hoped that the injured will recover as early as possible. Maharashtra Chief Minister Uddhav Thackeray, while expressing deep sorrow over the incident, directed an immediate probe into the whole incident. The state government has announced 5 lakh rupees as compensation to the kin of the deceased. Kunal Shinde, AIR News, Mumbai.
A high-level committee headed by Prime Minister Narendra Modi has been constituted to commemorate the 125th birth anniversary of Netaji Subhash Chandra Bose in a befitting manner. A gazette notification to this effect was issued today. Union Culture Ministry has said that the high-level committee will decide on the activities for a one-year-long commemoration beginning 23rd of January 2021. The members of the committee include distinguished citizens, historians, authors, experts, family members of Netaji Subhash Chandra Bose, as well as eminent persons associated with Azad Hind Fauj. The committee will lend guidance to the commemoration activities in Delhi, Kolkata, and other places associated with Netaji and Azad Hind Fauj, both in India as well as overseas.
In view of the growing bird flu scare in several states, including those who share a border with Uttar Pradesh, the state has been put on high alert and districts have been given strict instructions to report any incident of unnatural death of birds. Chief Minister Yogi Adityanath has issued directions to the Animal Husbandry Department to formulate a plan with regards to bird flu in the state. More from our Lucknow correspondent.
The Indian Veterinary Research Institute, Bareilly, has been relieved from COVID duties so that it can focus only on samples of bird flu. So far, the infection has not been noticed in the state, but administration has increased vigil and asked officials to be on high alert. Samples are being collected from various places, including water bodies and poultry farms. Chief Minister Yogi Adityanath held a meeting on the situation of bird flu and instructed to remain extra vigilant. He asked officials to pay extra attention to Magh Mela in Prayagraj, since thousands of devotees will arrive for Magh Mela, and during winters, migrant birds also come there in large numbers at Sangam. Sushil Chandra Tiwari, AIR News, Lucknow.
In Madhya Pradesh, bird flu virus has been confirmed in 9 districts so far. Unnatural death of crows and herons have been reported from 21 districts in the state. More from our Bhopal correspondent.
Bird flu virus has been confirmed in 9 districts of the state. Indore, Mandsaur, Agar, Neemuch, Devas, Ujjain, Khandwa, Khargone and Guna reports confirmed cases of bird flu virus, while 885 crows and 9 herons have been reported dead from 21 districts so far. Around 293 samples from 21 districts have been sent to National High Security Disease Research Laboratory, Bhopal, for investigation. The state government is making all efforts to prevent a spread of bird flu. In Indore and Neemuch district, poultry market etc. have been closed for a week. At Indore and Neemuch, chickens and eggs in affected shops and areas have been disposed of to prevent infection. The Director Animal Husbandry appeals to the poultry farmers to ignore the rumours and follow guidelines as per standard protocol. Pooja P. Vardhan, AIR News, Bhopal.
Gujarat has recorded its first confirmed case of avian flu after samples of 2 dead birds from Junagadh district tested positive. More from our Ahmedabad correspondent.
Following the 2 confirmed cases of bird flu near Bhandara Dam in Manavadar in Junagadh district, the officials of Animal Husbandry Department have begun surveying the 10 kilometers area around the dam. State Forest Department has again closed 4 bird sanctuaries for the tourists. These bird sanctuaries are Nal Sarovar and Thod in Ahmedabad, Kijadia in Jamnagar and Porbandar Bird Sanctuary. The surveillance has been stepped up in Kutch region and around village ponds where wild and migratory birds are nesting. According to the sources, no birds have been culled so far as the disease has not been detected in poultry birds. Yogesh Pandya, AIR News, Ahmedabad.
Punjab government has declared the whole state controlled area in view of the outbreak of avian influenza, bird flu, affecting birds including poultry in the neighbouring states. In another major decision, Punjab imposes complete ban on import of live birds, including poultry and unprocessed poultry meat, for any purpose into the state of Punjab with immediate effect till 15th of January 2021. Giving this information at Chandigarh, a government spokesman said that the decision will be reviewed based on the evolving situation.
BJP National President J.P. Nadda, who is on a day-long tour to West Bengal, is presently in Burdwan East District today. Mr. Nadda visited Radha Govind Temple before taking part in Krishak Suraksha Sabha and launching the party's door-to-door food grains collection program. He will also have lunch with a farmer family in Mustali Uttarpada village in Katwa. Later on, Mr. Nadda will participate in a road show in Burdwan. The News Services Division of All India Radio in its bilingual live phone-in program tonight will bring you a special discussion on COVID-19. Dr. K. Srinath Reddy, President of Public Health Foundation of India, will participate in the discussion. Listeners can ask questions to the expert on toll-free telephone number 1-800-115767. You can also ask questions on telephone number 011-233-14444 and post queries on our Twitter handle at AIR News Alerts by hashtag AskAIR. This can be heard on FM Gold channel and additional frequencies from 9:30 p.m. onwards. The program will also be available on our website newsonair.com and on our YouTube channel News on AIR Official. You can also follow us on the News on AIR app for updates.
In cricket, Australia has taken an overall lead of 197 runs over India in the third test at Sydney. Australia were 103 for 2 at stumps on the third day today. Earlier, India, which resumed its first innings from the overnight score of 96 for 2, were dismissed for 244. Patrick Cummins took 4 wickets and Josh Hazlewood scalped 2 and Cheteshwar Pujara scored 1 of the slowest half-centuries for India. Australia has taken a first innings lead of 94 runs and it would be an uphill task for India to make a comeback in this match. Shipping Minister Mansukh Mandavia has said that our seafarers stuck in China are coming back to India on 14th of January. In a tweet, Mr. Mandavia said the ship MV Jug Anand, having 23 Indian crews, is set to sail toward Chiba, Japan, to carry out crew change and will reach India on the 14th of January. He said this could only happen due to strong leadership of Prime Minister Narendra Modi. Mr. Mandavia appreciated the humanitarian approach of the Great Eastern Shipping Company towards the seafarers and standing by them in this crucial time.
U.S. President Donald Trump has been permanently suspended from social network app Twitter due to the risk of further incitement of violence. In a statement, Twitter said the decision was made after close review of recent tweets from the @real Donald Trump account. The social media platform also deleted new tweets posted by Trump, an official government account @POTUS. It comes amid a big tech purge of the online platforms used by Mr. Trump and his supporters. Now let us take a look at the weather forecast for today. The national capital experienced mist in the morning. The temperature will vary between 10 and 19 degrees Celsius. Mumbai will have generally cloudy sky with light rain or drizzle. Temperature will vary between 22 and 29 degrees. Chennai will have thunderstorm with rain. Temperature will hover between 23 and 27. Kolkata experienced mist in the morning and sky will be mainly clear during the day. The city will observe minimum temperature of 19 degrees Celsius, a maximum of 30 degrees. Srinagar will experience light snowfall. Temperature will hover between -4 degrees Celsius and 4 degrees. In Jammu, minimum temperature was 9 degrees while maximum will be 16. The city will have a generally clear sky. Leh will have a partly cloudy sky. Minimum temperature was -12 degrees Celsius while maximum will be -2. Gilgit will have a generally cloudy sky. Temperature will hover between -2 degrees to 9 degrees Celsius. Muzaffarabad will have a mainly clear sky becoming partly cloudy towards evening or night. Temperature will move between 3 to 15 degrees. Dehradun is likely to have misty weather today. The temperature will hover between 7 and 9 degrees Celsius. Chandigarh will have a partly clear sky. Temperature is likely to hover from 11 to 21 degrees. In Hyderabad, the minimum temperature will be 20 degrees while maximum will be 30. Ahmedabad will witness a partly cloudy sky. Minimum temperature will be 15 degrees. Maximum would be 27. Patna will have a mainly clear sky. Temperature will hover between 14 to 24. Guwahati, there was fog in early morning. Minimum temperature was 13 degrees. Maximum will be 27. And now, before we end the bulletin, the headlines once again. Prime Minister Narendra Modi says India is ready to save humanity with 2 made-in-India COVID-19 vaccines. 16th Pravasi Bharatiya Divas Convention inaugurated by the Prime Minister urges youth to use technology to take forward India's pride and culture across the globe. At least 10 infants die in a fire tragedy at Bhandara District Hospital in Maharashtra. COVID-19 recovery rate reaches 96.41%. High-level committee set up by Centre to commemorate 125th birth anniversary of Netaji Subhash Chandra Bose. And in cricket, Australia leads by 197 runs against India with 8 wickets in hand in the Sydney Test. And with that, we end the midday news.